Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka GMike, and y'all already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the G Perspective. Before we get into it, please follow me on my socials at George Mike Perez on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. And the podcast, the audio version itself, is available on all podcast platforms and YouTube. This week, bringing back an old guest, Austin Dillingham, big-time Baltimore Ravens fans, and we get going on the first 2 weeks of the NFL season for them and their divisional opponents in the AFC North, and see how they're doing to see if the Ravens can be a top contender team going into the playoffs or if they're going to be on the bottom level. So please like, subscribe, leave some comments, talk your smack, and let's get it. Austin, my boy, how's it going, man?
Never better, George. Thanks for having me on as always, sir.
Yeah, man. I know you got a busy ass schedule, and so do I. And thank you for taking your time out. But real quick, before we get into this NFL talk, because it's week 2, and I know that you're hyped because your Baltimore Ravens are going way up right now, 2-0. But before that, man, I know you're about to graduate from Full Sail University, the university that I graduated from, in a few weeks. How you feeling, bro?
About damn time, my friend.
Yeah, right.
Took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get here, but the main fact is we are here, and excited to see what's next on the horizon.
Yeah, and just know the next on the horizon, the grind does not stop, baby.
No, sir.
No
No,
matter
sir.
what.
We're just getting started, baby.
Yeah, dog. No, at this point, like you gotta level yourself up 2, 5, even 10 levels to get to that point to where you want to be and whatever you really want to do in this industry. But you gotta keep grinding. Yes, school's gonna be over, and you get that nice little vacation, enjoy yourself. But just know you gotta get back to that Kobe mentality and get back on that grind for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not about the destination; it's the journey. That's what Bean always said, and that's how I try to live my life. Try to take everything in stride, appreciate small victories. There's definitely big victory in the grand scheme of things for sure. But I know for a fact the work's just getting started. I'm excited for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like to hear that, and your Baltimore Ravens like to hear that too, man, because they're on the same streak right now, bro. I want to talk about these 2 games because we're going into week 3 tomorrow, Thursday Night Football, which is the New York Giants against the San Francisco 49ers. But just to talk about the Ravens on their past 2 previous week, like I mentioned, they're 2-0. Right now, they're the top of their division, division leaders right now. In week 1, the Baltimore Ravens beat the Houston Texans 20. I don't want to miss 25-9. Obviously, the Texans are not a contender, or even a playoff team that we're looking at in the NFL. But just going off of the stats of what the players contributed that week, Lamar Jackson, he went 17 for 22, 169 yards, 0 TDs, and 1 interception. Rushed for 6 times for 38 yards and had 2 fumbles in that game, man. 2 fumbles.
Bro, Lamar continued to like in week 1. I mean, he's the most electrifying, or one of, I guess you gotta say that caveat, one of the most electrifying players in the NFL. But that man has the dumbest turnovers. Ever since he stepped foot in the league. I mean, he had his fair share at Louisville as well. But where with the ups come the downs for sure. I mean, it was some growing pains in week 1, but I think we started to hit a little bit of a stride in week 2. So with that new Todd Monken offense, we shall see how far they can take this thing.
No, yeah, for sure. And week 2, he played better than week 1. But just sticking with week 1 right now, because you guys had a tremendous blow to your offense with J.K. Dobbins. He rushed for 22 yards on about 8 carries, 1 TD. But on that last run that he had, which was the TD, if I'm not mistaken, he suffered a torn Achilles that put him out for the game, and now officially out for the whole year. And just sticking with that right now, man, J.K. Dobbins, he's always been injury prone back since he's been in the league, so it's really been tough. And a lot of people had a lot of promise for him this year, including myself, and I know you had as well. He's a great back, very powerful runner, and he's very elusive for his size, and he has
Yeah.
some speed for sure. But knowing that he went down once again for your squad, and how do you feel for your squad at the running back position, and how do you feel for him? Obviously, like just as a human being and as a player.
Yeah, first and foremost, you're devastated for the player, for the human. Two major injuries in the last 3 years, and I mean, and you can't even count that middle year because he was spending half of the 2022 season rehabbing from the catastrophic knee injury that he sustained in the 2021 preseason at Washington's field, which has claimed a numerous amount of knees and ankles, and that field, hopefully, with the new management, will be a little bit better for in terms of the playing conditions. But Dobbins coming off of that knee injury where he tore pretty much every single ligament: ACL, PCL, MCL, ABCCL, whatever.
Yeah,
The
the whole knee out of there.
whole thing, a la Nick Chubb. We'll get to him. But
Oh man,
the Achilles is a terrible one, especially for a running back. I mean, most recently you talk about Cam Akers, who did make a comeback from an Achilles tear within, I believe, like 5.5, 6 months, but he has not been the same. He just lost his job out to Kyron Williams,
right.
and he's on the trade block. So you just feel for the player in terms of him being in a contract season. He had sort of like a hold in situation during training camp where he was a part of that running back group that was crying that they were underpaid, which I believe that they are. But uh, first 2 weeks in the season, you see why. Uh, it's a revolving door at this position nowadays with the types of offenses that are being run. It's a new day in Baltimore. It's a new offense that's being run. Lamar has complete control of this offense. He's being a more willing passer. He's being a very accurate passer with one of the most deep receiving cores that he's had throughout his 5 years so far in Baltimore.
Facts.
So the loss on the team, I don't believe, is as great as comparatively speaking, the loss on the team is not as significant as the talent level that J.K. Dobbins is for this specific offense. If we were talking last year and this happened, yeah, definitely it would have been a more significant blow. But well, I should say that J.K. is the prototypical back that a Todd Monken would want to have in this offense because he provides that elusivity, that bounce that Justice Hill shows. But he also has the size of a Gus Edwards. So he's both of those guys pretty much combined into one. I am optimistic at the running back position because the Gus bus is always rolling. He is, since he's gotten in the league, he is top 4 all time in yards per carry, 5.4 yards per carry. With all rushers who have had over 500 attempts, he's at 504 attempts. But he is still in that upper echelon in terms of always being consistent and getting the job done. I just hope that he ends up earning the reps that he deserves because he's also coming off a knee injury he sustained in 2021. We lost J.K. and Gus in consecutive weeks in that preseason.
Yeah.
Tough thing. I thought we would really, exercise those injury demons with the firing of Steve Saunders, who was notoriously called out over the past couple of years by players in Baltimore for not necessarily having their best interest at heart. John Harbaugh really chose loyalty over his players' wishes, his own personal loyalties over his players' wishes until pretty much the crying got too loud about Saunders being the type of guy that he was, type of character that he was. So, but apparently, I just learned that the guy that we hired in his stead was his top assistant. So I don't know how much of a culture shift there necessarily has been. I hope it has been for the best. But the injuries are starting to definitely pile up in the first 2 weeks. with Marcus Williams' pec injury, Tyler Linderbaum, Ronnie Stanley being both out with minor ankle sprains. Hopefully they'll be good to go in the next couple of weeks or so. But you got Marlon Humphrey being injured during camp, coming off of the foot surgery. He hopefully will be back either this week or the next. He's been campaigning for himself to be taken off of that injured list, but they're of course playing the cautious route with cornerback one. But circling back to Dobbins, contract year, I just hope that we're able to bring him back on a provisional basis starting next season. Maybe just one more year. We'll see how it plays out. I don't think that the Ravens need to make a move at running back. I know that they've been linked to Cam Akers. I just think that the stable that we have currently with Gus and Justice can get it done. And we also got a undrafted rookie, Keaton Mitchell, out of ECU, who's a complete burner, who can also make an impact on special teams. He'll be coming off of IR in week 5. So I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, just sticking with JK right now. Before the start of the season, like I mentioned, like a lot of people thought that he was going to have a breakout year. Me, in fact, I would have put him at top 10 to finish in the season as running back, really. Is because what you mentioned with the weapons that Lamar has now at the receiver position, with obviously Mark Andrews always being there, bringing in Odell Beckham, that he hasn't been his top self since the Giants, but he still can make plays and he still can be a difference maker. The rookie Zay Flowers, he's been incredible. He's looking like a wide receiver one, in my opinion.
That dude, man.
Yeah, man. You have all these weapons on offense for Lamar, and then you have J.K. Dobbins in the mix. Let's say he doesn't go down. That's great for the run game, obviously. Like I said, he's elusive, he's fast, and he's big. I think he would have been a great asset. I think they would have used him as a great asset to for the screenplay as well. For the screens, throwing off screens, and him getting these screen catches for like 5 to 10 yards, getting first downs and stuff like that, and him piling those up, maybe getting 4 to 5 to 6 receptions a game. I think it was going to be a great breakout year for him, man. So it sucks to see him go down. Now, talking about his contract, like you mentioned, man, like the running back position is not the same it was 10, 15 years ago. It's not very,
and it's not changing anytime soon.
Exactly, right? It's a business, and I don't agree with it. Like, my personal feelings is that we should pay these men. It's a terrible, tough position to play. We saw what happened to Nick Chubb. We're gonna get into that later, but it's a position that you could literally put your life at risk, your body at risk, and I think these players should get injured. But when it comes to the business side, you got to understand it from the owners. Like, if you're an owner of your own company, you don't want to pay for something that you think is not going to be durable. And that's how they see it. And, again, I understand it. I just don't agree with it.
For him, and, well,
go ahead,
real quick, I think the idea of having running backs paid on a different scale, like how top picks used to be in the draft, for like when Matthew Stafford was coming out, you would see the top 5 draft picks in the NFL being paid on a higher scale than the rest of the draftees. I believe that if you are like drafted in the first, second, third round as a running back, you should be able to negotiate what type of pay scale that you have, because you see these guys have, I mean, JK is a outlier because he got injured and is still injured for a second time within his rookie deal. But you talk about a guy like Saquon, you talk about a guy like Ezekiel Elliott. These guys greatly outperform what they're being paid within that rookie deal. I believe that for the running back position in particular, you should be able to negotiate, really a higher scale than other positions for that rookie deal based on what type of impact that the team expects you to have right out the gate. So, I hope that somehow they're able to come to the NFLPA and the commissioner's office able to come to a agreement on properly compensating these guys. Not that, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that you can't pay these guys long term because they just can't last. I mean, the players on the defensive end are getting faster, they're getting stronger, every single season. So the likelihood of these guys who are taking significant blows without any type of any type of added protection, it's not like the pads are getting better; the pads are getting small.
Yeah.
So like it's
because they
only
want to be
more
faster.
likely.
If you got bigger pads,
Exactly.
you're gonna be slow.
Because you want to get away from the big fast guys that are on the defensive end.
Yeah.
So it's it's not looking good for the running back position, but hopefully these guys can just continue to do their thing and advocate for themselves to get what they deserve.
Yeah, yeah. And just the last thing on that, for JK, man, 2 injuries in the rookie deal, like you mentioned. Now a
Mm-hmm.
torn Achilles, which is probably for the running back position, is very, very, very tough to come back from. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you can't do it for sure. But for him to get a contract extension or even get a franchise tag on him is going to be iffy for now. The Baltimore Ravens are going to look at it and they're going to be like, we don't know if this guy can really last for us. He's already got into injuries. And one is very significant, and the other one was his knee as well. Like it wasn't like no shoulder or anything in the upper body. No, it was his knee. So it could affect him. I hope it really doesn't, man. But again, it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, he was even hobbling when he came back from that knee injury last season. I remember in the Pittsburgh game, he had that long run where he could have easily broken away if it was 2020 J.K. Dobbins. But it clearly hobbled him, and I mean he'll have the full season, he'll have the full off season. There's still a lot of continuity amongst the players, the rest of the team, and the player in J.K. So I know that his teammates will definitely advocate for him to be brought back. We'll just see what kind of deal he's looking to get.
Yeah. Hopefully he's more optimistic. And he realizes that the NFL is a business at the end of the day. Last thing for the week one, Mark Andrews did not play, so it was a little blow there for you guys. But you guys still won 25-9, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean it's the Baltimore Ravens defense against a rookie quarterback. I believe we've won the last 22 games against rookie quarterbacks in the John Harbaugh era. So I wasn't too worried about this one, especially with C.J. Stroud being his first start ever. That's a stat that lasts throughout the entire regular season. So I wasn't too worried about this one. Just the injuries, losing 4 starters in one game absolutely sucks.
Yeah. No, and C.J. Stroud didn't even throw a touchdown this game. So
no.
And then the last
boys
thing,
on defense flying around.
No, they were. And then the last thing I want to mention, the rookie Zay Flowers caught 9 passes for 78 yards, 0 touchdowns. But right there, first game of his NFL NFL regular season career, go for 78 yards and 9 catches. And that's beautiful to watch.
Sure. To quote the philosophizer Meek Mill, I used to pray for times like this, my friend.
I used to pray for times.
The shiftiness that this guy has is special. I mean, like it's literally like we took Lamar, shrunk him down 4 inches, and just put him out wide. Like it's incredible. Like he was. I mean, he's juking veteran defenders on the Houston Texans in his first ever full speed NFL game, and he's making guys touch grass. Like he's just he was really showing me some very special intangibles, and a lot of guys, a lot of players, former wide receivers like Steve Smith Sr. in particular has been absolutely singing this guy's praises since he has come out of Boston College. I mean, I don't care what college it is, as long as it's D1 really, but if you set every single mark as a position player, I mean, that's special. That's a special talent. I don't care if it's Boston College. Yeah, I don't care if it's Boston College. I don't care if it's whatever. But
FIU,
FIU, whatever, whatever the case may be. I mean, he's been touted as a very special talent, and the sky is the limit for him. And I think we'll get to Odell, but I think him being there, obviously we need Odell healthy for the last half of the season. But I think the biggest impact that he is going to make on this team, if he is here for just the year that we've signed him for, is mentoring a guy like Zay.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I wanted to mention about Odell, because I don't really have much to talk about because he hasn't been producing so much in these first two games. But that one thing that you just said, him mentoring these other receivers, because it's not only Zay Flowers, there's other receivers that are younger than Odell on this roster. I think bringing in Odell, he's going to teach him how, obviously, run some crisp routes, make some incredible catches, teach him how to win. You know, all these things put together is DNA to try to become a Super Bowl contender and a Super Bowl winning team. So if he's out there being a coach on the field, the sidelines, practice, and even off the field with text messages and phone calls, like, that's great to have as a teammate right now at this point in time. And being a rookie, perfect.
It did come out that he may be hanging out with the Kardashians, so the jury's still out in terms of his decision making. I just hope that they keep Kylie away from my sweet Zay, man. Just protect that man at all costs, because he is the future, and we cannot afford a Kardashian curse falling upon this organization.
Nah, they need to go to church.
That ass.
All right, for week 2, you guys go and visit your arch enemy, the Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar had a way better game this week. He had 24 for 33 completions, 237 yards, 2 TDs, 0 interceptions, rushed 12 times for 54 yards. And then your starting running back, which is Gus Edwards, because of JK being out, he rushed for only 10 times. But your whole, just a little side note, your whole running back community, we would say, each of them had like at least 5 carries, and it's 4 running backs. That's pretty great to see, honestly. It's pretty great to see.
The Russian offense, I believe, finished with 173 yards on the day. I mean, we still got Lamar, and every single run that he had was a winning play. I mean, it was on 3rd down, it was on 2nd and long. He was knocking off 6-8 yards. He didn't have that electric Sports Center top 10 run that you saw.
But you don't
back
need
in,
that, bro. You need wins.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like I saw a tweet earlier yesterday where I think it was a analyst on NFL Network, and he just tweets, the Ravens offense looks shockingly normal. and I couldn't have said that better myself. It's like, even, I mean, this game was I think perfectly encompassing of what the Ravens want to do on the offensive side of the ball. It's just don't fuck it up. Like, it's just don't shoot ourselves in the foot with dumb play calls and being stuck in our ways. For
simple
better
and
or
easy.
worse.
Simple and easy.
Exactly. And when you've got the dogs on the outside like we do now, it makes it so much easier. It takes that pressure off Lamar, and I can already tell, in a 2-week time span, that he's really positively adapting to this new style that Monken has implemented.
No, it's looking great on him for sure. Gus Edwards rushed 10 times for 62 yards and 1 TD. Mark Andrews,
that's 6.2 per carry, my friend. That's
man. Hey, this guy knows how to be efficient.
He always falls forward. I don't think I've ever seen Gus Edwards fall backwards in his NFL career.
He probably does that on purpose too. He's like, I'm about to be tackled. Let me just fall forward.
I mean, honestly, I can't even remember a 50-yard run of his in his career, but I swear the dude is always getting more than 5 yards per carry. It's awesome. That's what we need.
Yeah. Productivity for sure. Mark Andrews on his first game back, 5 receptions, 45 yards, 1 TD. Great first game back. I mean, fantasy numbers is not crazy, but still good. Still good.
I mean, it's first back, and he missed, I believe, before week 1 took place, he missed 6 consecutive practices. So he's definitely getting back into the swing of things. I mean, with all the mouths that we got to feed on the out wide, I'm sure that the chemistry between Mark and Lamar, sort of hit a speed bump to a certain extent, but they'll get it back. They'll get it back.
Yeah, but they don't really care
That's
about
his
that,
day
man,
one.
because I think everybody on that squad, and you
It's
can't
one
say
win.
this. You can't say this for every team. People think
No.
that every single team is like, okay, I'm aiming for the Super Bowl, this and that. No, there are teams out there that are just like, okay, I'm trying to get above 500. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
in the playoffs. I'm trying to get to the divisional playoffs. Like not
Or
every
I'm
team
trying
is
to
thinking
get my
about Super Bowl.
stats so I improve my next situation.
Exactly. And I think everybody on this Baltimore Ravens roster to 2023 is looking at a Super Bowl contending team.
Yep.
So
Yep.
him and Mark Andrews are always going to be on the same page for sure. Even if Mark Andrews only gets 2 catches, if they win by fucking 15, he's going to be cool about it. He's going to be like, all right, cool, whatever, we won.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. It's no problem at all. No, I agree.
One guy that you guys got over, Nelson Aguilar, caught 5 passes for 63 yards in the TD, and that throw that Lamar threw to him, man, was insane, bro. Oh my God. Yeah. Right over the top, right over the corner. The corner probably didn't even see it when he turned around. I promise you, yo, it was beautiful. It was right in the window.
Two of the prettier Lamar throws in his career. That Nelson Aguilar touchdown throw and that Zay Flowers 50-yard bomb. 2 of the prettier throws that I have seen him have in his career. Oh yeah, I mean that was a dot, bro.
Yeah.
Because
he had the safety and the corner on him. It could have been an easy interception right there.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, it's not like he's any bigger than Hollywood Brown is or nothing. But like, I feel something different about this kid. Like he goes up and gets it too. Like he's like a Steve Smith. I think that's why Steve Smith Sr. has such a liking for this kid, is that he reminds him of himself so much. Like he's an undersized kid, but he's just a dog, man. Like he just goes up and gets it. He does not care about putting his body on the line to haul a deep 50-yard bomb in.
Yeah, I don't even think he's a dog. I think that boy's a wolf. That boy out there is different.
Love it. I love it.
Talking about him, he got 4 receptions for 62 yards, no TD, but 62 yards, man. Hey. Still really good, man. And then the Ravens come out on top to beat the Bengals 27-24. That's why you guys are 2-0 right now, ahead of your division. From the team right now, just for 2 weeks, still the beginning of the regular season. A lot of football to be played. There's no for sure's on what teams are gonna make the playoffs and what teams are gonna go all the way or whatever. But right now, from your team, what are you liking so far, and what are some things that you think that you guys really need to improve on?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you can't start reading your press clippings just yet. I know this team is very, even though they're young in a lot of spots. You got the youngest old head in Roquan Smith really taking an onus on himself to being a vocal leader on not only the defense but the team. The comments that he had about the Bengals after the game were just quintessentially Roquan. I mean, the dude was, very, very calculated with his comments. He's not openly talking shit on talking down on the opponent in a post game presser, but like. He's still just like, hey, I mean, we remember what y'all said at the end of the playoff game, when Tyler Huntley was leading the squad. Now when the rabbit got the gun, y'all ain't got shit to say. Where you at, Jamar? Like, where you at, Jamar Chase? Where you at, Joe? Like,
and he's been doing horrible for fantasy.
Y'all was talking a lot of talk when Lamar was on the sideline. So I'm just saying, Lamar now improves to 7-1 against the Bungles. And the
against the Bagels, the
Beagles, the little Beagles, the little pussycats. It's just I get that they're a great team, but
yeah,
it's just like you gotta at some point, like the difference between the Browns and the Bengals and the Ravens and the Steelers is that we've got history to stand on. Like there is a built-in element of respect between the Ravens and the Steelers that the Ohio teams just do not have. Like
Yeah.
it starts with the teams and it bleeds out into the fans. Like the fans are insufferable. The players have always been insufferable. Like it's just I don't understand like how it continues to be the case, but it's just like I mean and Steelers fans will attest to this just as much as Ravens fans do. It's just a different like type of just bad blood among the Ohio teams and the Ravens and the Steelers, as opposed to like when the Ravens and the Steelers clash. Like I'll still talk an immense amount of shit to my Steelers fans and my Steeler friends. But it's at the end of the day, it's like a unspoken understanding that there's that underlying respect factor among the two franchises. But it's just like, but circling back to your question, I feel good about the 2-0 start. The offensive line has been absolutely phenomenal despite the Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum injuries. Defense is flying around. I will stand on the fact that Roquan and Patrick Queen are the best linebacker duo in the league. I know you've got Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw out there in San Fran, but I believe as a collective that they have been playing better. And dating back to last year when Roquan got there, that unlocked a different form of Patrick Queen. Like his whole Patrick Queen's whole thing coming out of LSU was that he was just a heat-seeking missile at the linebacker position and played with a lot of reckless abandon. You had a lot of talent on that LSU defense to cover up when he would make a mistake. And now that he is not the off-ball linebacker, now he can just see ball, get ball. You've got Roquan to call everything out and man the X's and O's of the whole operation on the field. Patrick Queen could just play with his hat on fire. I mean, and he has shown that he has taken his game to a different level, and I think it's just going to get better. I think the secondary will get healthy. I got to see more. I got to see more out of the pass rush. Like we're getting pressure. Jadeveon Clowney has been a tremendous signing. He's going to be that vet on a pitch count, and he got a sack on Burrow last week. So
that was the only sack that you guys had in week 2. I just want to
exactly, and we've got two freaks on the
side,
Jabo and Owe, who and I was trepidatious on Owe to begin with because it's rare that you draft an outside linebacker out of college who didn't record a sack in college. So that was interesting. I get that he may. I mean, he's had a couple of good plays throughout his first couple of years in Baltimore. I mean, he most recently. Well, I shouldn't say most recently. It was last year, early in the season, but he had a strip sack on Mahomes to beat the Chiefs. I mean, that was the most memorable play that he's had by far.
Clutch.
Ojabo played, I think, like 2 games at the end of last season. He had his Achilles tear during his pro day leading into his rookie season, so he wasn't available until the bitter end of last season. So this is still technically his rookie year. I just need to see more out of those guys. I need to see more of a interior pass rush. We're definitely missing Calais Campbell in that respect. I think Justin Matabike, our current 3 technique, can elevate his game to that. Mike Pierce is back, and he's being that run stuff and nose guard that the Ravens defense has always had, plug in the middle. So I mean, he'll be consistent in that respect, but I just got to see more of a consistent pass rush from these guys without Mike McDonald having to bring Roquan and Patrick Queen on a blitz, every other third down.
Yeah, because then you lose the middle of the field, and next thing you know, someone runs a drag route. That's a good 15-yard gain right there.
And there were multiple times that what I believe kept Cincinnati in this game was exploiting those second and third down blitzes from the linebackers, and you would have Tyler Boyd or T. Higgins go right over the middle and catch a quick slant for 9, 10, 11 yards. So that's essentially what kept them in the game. You eliminate those plays, Ravens walk out of there with a 21-point victory. And the and second consecutive 20-point loss for the Bengals, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I just need to see more of a consistent edge rush for sure.
No, yeah, you guys are looking good, very promising. You just got to keep going. Like you were saying on the offense, be simple and easy. Nothing crazy. Not trying to get these electrifying highlight ESPN plays to be on top 10
Mm-hmm.
at midnight before everybody goes to sleep. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just want these clear cut plays that are going to get you
Yeah.
points, that are going to turn
And,
into wins because your defense can hold out other teams from scoring. We saw that in the first 2 weeks.
mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you can rely on that and just have the clear cut offense, you guys are going to be good to go. For sure.
Ain't that the exact thing you want out of Dak Prescott? Like that's the exact. That's been his bugaboo the entire Dak Prescott era.
Dude,
Just relax, bro. Just do what you do.
the thing is that, and I don't want to get super off topic because we only got like a few more minutes here and stuff.
Don't get me started about my Cowboys.
We're both on some time crunching schedules and stuff. But just real quick, man, with Dak, it's just that he plays relaxed and calm when the game starts, when they're flowing and the game's going good or whatever. But there's gonna be games that there's gonna be adversity, and when adversity hits, you can't be folding under pressure. You can't be allowing that pressure to get to you. No. Just sit back, relax, and take it one play at a time. Don't worry about what's going to happen the next play. Don't worry about what's going to happen the next quarter. Don't worry about what's going to happen the next drive. Like, you focus on the right now and just be calm and collected and do what you got to do. The other players around you are going to do what you got to do because everybody on offense is clicking on all cylinders. It's just you.
No doubt.
It's just you.
No doubt. And in a different way, that's been Lamar's biggest issue to this point in his career. I believe he carries the last play with him too much into the next drive.
That's why he got those two fumbles in the first week.
Exactly. The only thing that I miss about Joe Flacco is literally his just stale face, just like on to the next play. Like, and I hated him for it at times. I literally hated it because I'm just like, bro, we're down 14 in the fourth quarter. Where the fuck is the passion? Do you care? At one point, he was the highest paid player in football, and the guy just acted like he just, he's like,
he was like this.
Like what? I mean, he was like Jim Caldwell in quarterback form. It was ridiculous. But Lamar he carries that turnover into the next play too often, into the next series too often.
He cares so much, man. He cares
exactly,
so much,
which I love. Like I want a quarterback that cares, but it's like at the same time, the quarterback position in the NFL in particular is so predicated on your mentals. Like you see Tom Brady get mad, but like the next drive that he comes in, he's just back to stone face killer. Like he just had that ability to just wipe the entire memory of any mistake that he had previously made, and that's what made him different.
Yeah. All right, last thing before we get out of here, let's talk about your divisional rivals, and I want to talk in particular about what happened on Monday night with the Cleveland Browns going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns lost 22-26. Obviously, in the beginning of the game, we saw a heartbreaking situation with the star running back Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns go down with a crazy, gruesome injury that Micah Fitzpatrick came off the edge and came to tackle Nick Chubb on the bottom of the lower body. And you got to understand the reason why he did that is because Nick Chubb is a massive dude. The guy squats over 600 pounds. So if with
that bendy bar too,
with the bendy bar that you think that shit's gonna break on his back, and if you think that you're gonna tackle this man upper body as a safety, no, that's not happening.
TJ Watt's gonna have trouble tackling that man from the upper.
You feel what I'm saying? So the people that are giving criticism to Michael Fitzpatrick, man, y'all need to go sit down somewhere and start watching tennis. Because you guys do not know what the fuck is going on out there. He did that for a reason, but obviously he does not want to injure the guy, bro. And it just happened. It was the same knee that Nick Chubb folded in Georgia in college. If you guys do not know this, like folded, like a lawn chair, like bad and backwards. I'm not talking about the regular way that we all do. No, I'm talking about backwards. Crazy injury, same knee. Sucks
Yeah.
to see him out there. Jeremy Ford came in, backup running back, and still put in work.
Yeah.
134 yards on like 12 carries. Still put in work because the Cleveland Browns are a run offense. They're a great run offense team because their quarterback situation is kind of iffy right now with Deshaun Watson. And you would think 5 years ago, you say Deshaun Watson, you would think Deshaun Watson, this guy's a Pro Bowl quarterback. What are you talking about? Now it's different. Now it's different. But
that was before karma started playing a role.
Yep. Goddamn masseuses. It was a back and forth game the whole game because the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is trash. I don't know what you got to say about it, but it is trash. And Kenny Pickett, sorry, is not that guy. It's not that guy. They better trade for somebody else. I was saying this the other day. I think they should trade for Tyler Huntley. But I don't know.
I'm listening. I mean, you throw me a little, second round pick. We'll talk.
Yeah. But I know
Jalen Warren, maybe.
Yeah,
Jalen Warren. I like.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Jalen Warren. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't think they like
RB1
out there.
RB1. You got Najee running like Mike Tolbert out there.
Oh, the guy looks like a refrigerator out there with no speed.
What? I just don't understand what happened to him. He hasn't had any injuries, but he wasn't that slow at Bama.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like he looks like he's got ankle weights attached to him. I just don't understand like what has happened to Najee. Like I get it that it's terrible play calling, and now Steeler fans feel the same pain that Ravens fans have felt over the last 2-3 years in having just an inept offensive coordinator that is stuck in his ways and continuously is being backed by the head coach who you have an immense amount of faith in to make the right decisions in these matters. But the head coach is choosing loyalty to his staff because he is a great person till the bitter end and stands by his guys because that's his MO. That's, the man's got morals. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, God damn it, they have morals. And they will fight for their guys until the bitter end, for better or worse. And they've got the utmost amount of faith in the staff that they put together, which more power to them. But for God's sakes, you are hindering the Kenny. We won't know if Kenny is a guy until Matt Canada is out of there.
Think so?
I don't think so. And we won't know if Pat Freiermuth is a guy until Matt Canada is out of there. We won't know really if Najee is completely fucked in terms of his athleticism until Matt Canada is out of there. It's just screen pass after screen pass and just check down after check down and just gimmicky bullshit that Matt Canada tries to you had Kenny Pickett running a quarterback draw or a read option. Kenny Pickett on a 3rd and 1 with the game on the line. What do you That's the worst play call I've seen since Greg Roman called a Mark Andrews tight end dive out of the shotgun in the divisional round last year.
Terrible.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. I'd be pissed if I was a Steelers fan. I would be chanting fire Matt Canada if I was in the stands. It's just I wouldn't be sad to see Canada last the entire season, which I think is going to happen.
It is going to happen
because
for sure.
the Pittsburgh Steelers are not a team to fire anybody, let alone one of their top 3 coaches mid-season. So tough.
But what I really want to talk about is the ending of that game because it was a dilemma. I know you watched the game. The game was going back and forth. It was a good game. At the end, the last drive, the Cleveland Browns had the ball. And no lie, I thought Deshaun Watson was going to show everybody that he could come out and do a fourth quarter comeback win.
Why?
Because of the way that he was driving down that ball. The way that he was driving down that ball until it got to 3rd down, and then he kind of choked it a little bit. and then they had fourth. It was 4th and 12, I think it was.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
saw
That
Donovan
boy does love
Peoples-Jones.
to. He does love to choke some things. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He saw Donovan Peoples-Jones running a 10 and out,
Mm-hmm.
and once this happened, Joey Porter Jr. was covering DPJ, and
Yep.
on that play, I want to hear your insight about it. But on that play, DPJ did the out, and you kind of see after the fact, not during the play, but you kind of see
Mm-hmm.
that Joey Porter Jr. grabbed his sleeve on his jersey. So you really can't turn, okay? For you NFL fans out there, don't know how to fucking route run.
Yeah.
When you grab a player's jersey, you cannot turn your body. I literally cannot do it right now.
Yep, no doubt.
You can't turn your body. So he wasn't able to get around to get to the ball to look at it, right? That's not my dilemma. That's not my dilemma. My thing is that after that happened, there was no, let's review the play. Let's find out exactly what happened. It was just, oh no, that's it. The game's over because the offense takes the ball and they're going to knee it and it is what it is.
Yep.
So my thing is, I feel, and then you tell me after what you think, I feel that in the final 2 minutes of a game, if it's in a close game like that, like a field goal separation, or maybe even a touchdown separation, because you could go up and tie the game. Under 2 minutes, 4th down, especially, but even 3rd or 2nd or 1st down, whatever it is, I think every play should be reviewed. Every play. It does not matter if they throw a flag. It does not matter if something horrendous happens or something like super simple happens that everybody saw exactly what happened. I think every play should be reviewed. And I'm not talking about the referees. I'm talking about we have a whole other other people that are reviewing these plays, and they tell these referees, like, you know, to try to do it as quick as possible, because when each play goes, it's not like basketball that one play happens and then you're running down the court and then that's it, like they're going in for a layup or a 3-pointer or whatever. No. When a play happens, you literally have like 30 seconds to run the next play. So I think every play under 2 minutes should be reviewed because of situations like this. They didn't even review it because there was no flag called. Okay, there's no flag called, that's fine. But you should still review the play. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. But I wanted to get your take on it and see what you thought of, and then we'll be out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to the divisional round between the Rams and the Saints. You got Nickel Roby-Coleman absolutely demolishing, I forget who the receiver was, but ended up working in the Rams' favor, and they end up going to the Super Bowl in the process.
Against the Saints.
Yeah. And I thought that they had changed something to make things like this reviewable. I guess the rule change, if I'm not mistaken, was just the fact that like coaches were able to challenge this. I know that the Browns were out of timeouts at that point in time, so they were not able to do so. But yeah, no, I believe that it should. I agree with you. I believe that with how technology is nowadays, I don't see why it would be much of an issue for the league office, and I believe that's when they refer to Secaucus, and Al. I don't know if it's still Al Riveron, who runs the show there, but they are able to review these plays in that office and get word back to the field to try to prevent situations like this and try to expedite the review process. Not to say that. I know you're not trying to say that like they should go under the hood and physically review every single play in the final 2 minutes. It's just if you need it, it's there. And the league office can buzz down to the officials to say, hey, might want to take a look at this one, might have gotten the call wrong, especially if it is in the instance of a judgment call like this. I for one believe that it was an uncatchable ball.
Okay.
So I was fine with letting this one slide. I can see that, it definitely did warrant discussion because there was a clear tugging of the jersey by JPJ on Donovan Peoples-Jones. So I can definitely see where the argument, is based on. But yeah, no, I agree, and it sucks for Cleveland, but
Fuck the
karma's a bitch in
Browns.
this world, my friend. Karma's a bitch. I mean, like $230 million for Deshaun Watson
And
to
100 and
be
something guaranteed.
no
170 guaranteed.
230 million guaranteed. The
Oh
entire
damn.
contract was
Oh yeah, yeah.
guaranteed,
You're
my
right.
friend.
You're right. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
the entire contract was guaranteed, my friend. So they are on the books for every last penny of a man who has probably, well, if you uh consider like a Carson Wentz or a Davis Mills as a NFL quarterback, he's the worst in terms of stats over the 8 starts that he's had for Cleveland. I mean, he ranks 34th in the NFL in the 8 games that he's played in yards per attempt. In passer rating, he is 31st. In I believe it's total yards per game, he is 32nd. I mean, I get it that he missed 2 years. That
That's a lot, bro. That's a
it's
lot.
escaping me why he wasn't around for those 2 years. Oh yeah, that's right. He was sexually assaulting over 70 women. But I digress. It's just like when is the NFL going to just like move on from these types of guys, bro? I mean, like for God's sake, they're bringing in Kareem Hunt again, like for a visit, and they're probably going to sign this man. There's video
But I feel
of
like
him
the Browns
There's
organization.
video of him punting his girlfriend,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
punting
I
his
feel like
girlfriend's face.
my bad to cut you off, but I feel like the Browns
Like,
organization does not care about that at all. At all.
I just don't understand. Like that. Like I get it that like Jimmy Haslam probably doesn't give a shit about women. Old man in the
Or just
old man owner in the
human beings
NFL. It's
morals,
not.
really.
Yeah, no, like, and he definitely sees his players as assets and not humans. Like,
Exactly,
that's
exactly.
probably the case. But it's just like if you're I just look at Kevin Stefanski and other Browns players, and it's just like I know for a fact that I mean, like there is at least one spouse of a player or a coach on this team that has spoken to their spouse who is in a role with the Cleveland Browns. It's like, what are you doing working with a guy like this?
Yeah.
It's just like it's like because the owner has no morals, like is everybody else forced to not have morals, and like is nobody gonna like step in and like speak out against bringing in a guy who has this kind of rap sheet? And it's just like it just never made any sense to me why Cleveland went so all in with this guy and ended up trading 3 first-round picks to the Houston Texans for him. Like, not only did they pay him the most guaranteed money in NFL history, they gave up 3 first-rounders for him. It just like it makes no sense to me why this guy is given such a chance and is just like and is expected to be the same Deshaun Watson that was in Houston, and he hasn't played for 2 years. It just makes no sense to me. Like the quarterback position in particular, that's the hardest position in pro sports, like not just football, in professional sports. With the amount of responsibility that you have, the amount of mental toughness, and and just overall brain power that you need to like process what's
Oh,
going
and
on
the
with an
physical
NFL
abuse that
defense.
you get too.
100%. I mean, and you set me up for that one. I mean, like Sean Watson likes it on both ends. It's just like I just don't understand I just don't understand why this has happened. Why the Browns have put themselves in this position? Like it's comical. It really is. It really is.
Some
It's
teams you
quintessential
just can't
Browns.
help, man. Some teams you just can't help, and they do
No,
their own dooms.
No,
It is what it is. It is what it is, man.
Be my team.
Yeah, man. hey, great time, bro. I had a great time, man. Thank you again for taking some of your time and coming on. But let these people know where they can follow you, where they can see your stuff, because you're about to graduate, man. So you got to get your shit on and popping, baby.
Always. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on, of course. You can find me. I got my new professional Instagram page up. That is Dilly Knows Ball. You can find me on there. I got a couple of links attached to that Instagram page with my YouTube, Dilly Sports Talk. I'm going to be posting all my content on there. And a lot of good stuff soon to come out. Got my final show with Project Portfolio 7 tomorrow. Got that sportscast, so I'll be posting all of that on there, and the demo reel is coming out in the next couple of days. So if you want, be sure to give me a follow on there, show your support. I greatly appreciate it. As always, George, I appreciate you having me on, my friend.
No, I appreciate it. I gotta go give you a little subscribe on YouTube, baby.
Yes, sir.
Get a subscribe for a subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Guys, you know where you can follow me on Twitter at George Mike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast itself is available on all podcast platforms and YouTube as well. And don't forget to check out your boy Wednesday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Peace on the Streets Radio. We're talking about all the current sports events, and that will be tonight too, baby. So let's get
go.
Austin, thank you again. In a few weeks, I'll have you back on, buddy.
Alrighty, bro. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man.